Hello everyone. Good evening to all of you. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep and welcome to this yet another session on NMAT crash course that we are having right now. So today we have data interpretation, probably the last session of this series that we are having today. And I'll be talking about data interpretation in our today's class. But before that, can you please confirm is all fine? I hope no operational issues are there. I'm audible and visible to all of you. Just confirm once, after that we shall start with our class. Good evening everyone, very good evening. Is everything fine? All of you can hear me, all of you can see me. I hope everything is okay so that we can start with the class. Hi, good evening Shivam, good evening Charvi, very good evening. Yes, that's great. All is okay. They're saying. Very good. So I think we can start then without any further delay. Why to wait? Okay. Let's straight away start without a delay. NMAT 2023 crash course data interpretation decoded is the session for today, and this is the last session from this crash course series. Okay. Yes says Varsha. Good evening Varsha, Soumya, Sakshi. चलिए जी शुरू करते हैं सीधा सीधा. So what is the weightage of this topic in NMAT? I would say it's an important topic. The reason is the number of DI sets have been there in NMAT. It has been between 2 to 3 in the last few years. And in the last year, two sets were asked in almost all the slots. तकरीबन सभी slots में आपको दो दो set देखने को मिलेंगे. And in 21 and before, usually the number of sets were between 2 to 3, and every time a set has 4 questions. So basically last year every slot has 8 questions. Last to last year every slot had again 8 questions, and before that we have seen 12 questions as well as 8 questions in each of the slots. So that has been the scenario. That makes it an important topic. And another reason for it being important is, मुझे लगता है सबसे आसान एरिया भी है. डेटा इंटरप्रिटेशन काफी आसान होता है करना. सो उस लॉजिक से भी मुझे लगता है वी शुड बी डूइंग डेटा इंटरप्रिटेशन अलॉट. What are the important topics from DI's perspective in NMAT? So they are the common basic types of graphs. कौन से टाइप्स होते हैं? टेबल, बार ग्राफ, लाइन ग्राफ, पाई चार्ट. यही चार ग्राफ हम लोग जनरली पढ़ते हैं. दीज आर द बेसिक टाइप्स और उनका कुछ मिक्सचर, राइट? इन कैट वी सी सम अदर काइंड ऑफ ग्राफ्स एज वेल. कि स्कैटर प्लॉट ग्राफ आता है, बबल ग्राफ भी आता है, रेडार ग्राफ आता है, ट्रायंगुलर ग्राफ आता है. बट दैट डज नॉट हैपन विद दीज एग्जाम्स, right? In NMAT you always have the basic type of graphs and the questions would be asked upon that only. Today also we'll be discussing some, practicing some good sets on DI. I think around 2-3 sets. Let's see how many sets we can do. So straight away we'll start practicing because there is no theory in it. कुछ ऐसा नहीं है कि मतलब आपको पहले पढ़ना होता है DI करने के लिए. सीधा हम लोग क्वेश्चंस की तरफ जा रहे हैं. Straight away I'm starting with first set here on your screen. So please start doing with this. Here is the set. Please read it once. After that, I'll move on to the questions as well. This is the only data that we have about this question. This is the only data that we have in this question. So please tell me what is the structure here. Just read it once. Then I shall move on to the questions. And please say done in the chat box the moment you are done with the reading part. Please say done in the chat box the moment you have done the reading. Charvi has done it, okay. I'm sure all of you have read it now. Okay, Shivam also says that. So study the following information carefully, and he says answer the questions given below. The table given below shows the number of students who have passed with first division, second division, and third division in an exam from 5 different schools, that is A, B, C, D, E, in the annual exam in 2020. So how many students have passed from, I mean, in first division, second division, third division? That is given to us. A student could pass only with any one of the three divisions or else is declared as failed. So either a person will pass with first division or with second or with third or he will be failed. Every student from each of the five schools appeared in the examination. So we can say that if every student has appeared, so number of people getting first division, second division, third division plus the number of people got failed is equal to the number of students in a class, because everyone would have appeared. और appear करने के बाद चार ही possibilities है, first, second, third division या फिर fail, which is kind of zero division, you can say so. Now what are the questions based upon it? Straight away I'll move on to that. सीधा questions पे आते हैं. Here is the first question for all of you. If the total number of students in school A and B were in the ratio of 10:7, and if the total number of students who failed in these two schools were 150 in 2020, right? Then find the number of students in school B in that year. So please give me the answer. पहले आप लोग में से कोई आंसर देंगे, उसके बाद ही मैं आगे बढ़ूंगा. What is your answer for this question? I know it's a little calculative question, but Soumya has already answered it. She says 350. That's very good, Soumya. We've got one answer from Soumya. Anyone else? I'm sure Soumya has used the shortcut. Soumya, do not discuss that here, right? Charbi has got the answer. Anish got it. Shruti, Keyur. Chaliye, let's start doing it. The question says total number of students in school A and B were in the ratio of 10 and 7. So number of students in A is to number of students in B. They are in a ratio of 10:7. And if the total number of students who failed in these two sections were 150, then find the number of students in B in that year. I can straight away say the number of students in B should be a multiple of 7. If number of students in A and B are in a ratio of 10 and 7, so of course number of students in B should be a multiple of 7. This is gone, this is gone, this is gone, this is gone. My correct answer is 350. So probably we could have answered this question within seconds had we paid attention to this part. Otherwise, if you go by calculations, the question would be a little lengthy. But yes, options were pretty helpful and they will be helpful in the exam as well. ये ध्यान रखिएगा. इसी तरह की चीजों को जब यहां यूज करना शुरू करोगे तभी एग्जाम में भी इसको यूज कर पाओगे. अदरवाइज अगर आप यही सोचते रहोगे नहीं नहीं नहीं, अगर एग्जाम में कोई भी 7 का मल्टीपल ना होता तो 2 हो जाते तो 3 होते तो देन वी वुड हैव ट्राइड ऑल थिंग. यस, देन वी डू इट, बट how would we learn these things unless and until we do it, right? It is just like we are not trying to play full toss balls, because what if in the actual match they do not give me any full toss? Arey, what if there is a full toss? How would you play that? You can maximize your scores over there. So always try these things at home as well. Okay. Otherwise, what is the general way of doing it? If I talk about school A, the number of students is 109 passed with first division plus 170, that is 279, plus 98 is 377. So 377 students passed with first division, second division or third division. What about the other one? In school B, it is 86 plus 142, which is 228. 228 plus 95. 228 plus 95 is 323. So 323 students in section B passed in first division, second division or third division. 377 students in section A passed in first division, second division or third division. Now he says total number of students who failed in these two schools is 150, right? So what is the total number of students in A and B together? It is 377 who passed in A, 323 who passed in B, 150 who failed in these two sections together. तो टोटल नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स इन ए एंड बी इज द सम ऑफ दीज थ्री नंबर्स. कितना आ रहा है जरा देखिए. 37 and 32 is 69. 700 plus 150 is 850. So total number of students in these two schools is 850. 850 को आप 10:7 के रेशियो में डिवाइड करो. This number will come out to be 500 and this number will come out to be 350. So the number of students in section A is 500 and number of students in section B is equal to 350. That way also we got the answer as option C. I hope you got the solution, you got the shortcut as well. Both of them are important from the exam's perspective. If these kind of options are there, you should be answering 350 within seconds. If these kind of options are not there, then also you should be answering it within a minute, because it just is based upon some of the numbers. Let's move on. Question number 2 on your screen now is here. Let me see how many of you answered it fast enough. देखते हैं इस बार सबसे पहले कौन आंसर करता है. Okay, Anaga has answered the question very fast. Very good, Anaga. That's brilliant. So Anaga was smart enough to use some of the data from previous question, if I'm not wrong, Anaga, right? Varsha Ranjan has answered it very fast. Shruti has answered. Very good, guys. Sonali has answered. Very good. Shivam has answered. Pragya has answered. So now many of you have answered it fast. That's great. So what does the question say? The total number of students who appeared in the exam from school B and those who appeared for the exam from school D are the same. Then the number of students who have failed in school B exceed those who have failed in D by how much? So in the previous question, we calculated the number of students who appeared from B is 323. So why can't we use that? Right? Appeared नहीं, I'm sorry, who passed is 323. Now we just have to find out for D. D में कितने बच्चे हैं? 157 plus 83, it is 240. 240 plus 112, it is equal to 352. So the number of students who passed in D are 29 more. But he says total number of students is same. So if number of students who passed is 29 more, the number of students who failed must have been 29 less. तभी तो total sum equal आएगा. On one side a number is 29 more, so on the other side it will be 29 less. Only then I'll have the same sum. So by that logic I can say the number of students who failed in school B, they would exceed by 29. So therefore my answer is option C for this question. Yes, option C, 29 is the right answer, and I see many of you had answered correctly and you have answered fast as well. That's brilliant. One more thing that you can try. I'll just tell you that अगर आप like करेंगे तो बताऊंगा, वरना नहीं. 22-23 लोग देख रहे हैं और उसमें से 6 लोगों ने लाइक किया है. ये चीजें अच्छी नहीं होती हैं, ठीक है. आगे के लिए भी ध्यान रखिए. इनसे जो है ना अच्छा आशीर्वाद नहीं मिलता है टीचर्स का. So please do that. I'll give you a shortcut too. यहाँ तो चलो ठीक है. We knew that sum of total number of students who passed in B was calculated in previous question. Otherwise, how would I do these questions? देखिए मेरा तरीका ये होता है that here I see that D is 57 plus 14, 71 more than B. Here I see it is 42 plus 17, 59 less. So 71 minus 59 is 12. So currently D is 12 more than B. And here it is 17 more than B. So 17 more and 12 more, it is 29 more. So by that logic, rather than calculating, I could have straight away said that it is 29 more than that. तो इसलिए failed जो होगा वो 29 less होगा. By that logic, we could have answered the question. That is question number 2 for all of you. I'll move ahead to question number 3 now. ये रहा question number 3 आपके साथ. Soumya, if you like that, if you are getting any benefit out of it, right, only then it is useful. Otherwise, it's of no use for me, unless and until the students are able to just apply that. So therefore, I keep telling whatever I do so that you guys also keep trying this in different kind of questions. And once you apply it 7, 8 times, then it will become your own solution. You'll be able to do them fast then. Let me see some answers before I move ahead in this question as well. Anaga has answered. Anaga says 328. Okay, very good, very fast, Anaga. If that is the right answer. Keyur has answered. He also got D 328. Anish has got D, which is 328. That's fast, guys. Very good. Sonali has got three option. Sorry, D as the answer. Sakshi has got 328. I think we can start doing it now. Chaliye. It says the ratio of the total number of students who appeared in C2E is 5 is to 4 and number of students who failed in C2E are 3 is to 2. Find the number of students who have failed in E. Once again, I would have done that. कि failed का ratio 3 is to 2 है तो E में जितने fail हुए that should be a multiple of 2. All of them are multiples of 2. तो मेरे काम नहीं आ रहा है वो कहीं पर. Otherwise, I would have checked that. Anyways, C के total check करते हैं. 122 plus 164, it is 286. 286 plus 77, it is equal to 386, 366 and 363. Let's talk about E. 133 plus 118, it is equal to 251. 251 plus 105, it is 356. So the total number of students in C would be 363 plus some failed. Let's call them 3x. Total number of students in E is 356 plus some failed. Let's call them 2x because the number of students failed are in a ratio of 3 is to 2. And the total number of students is in a ratio of 5 is to 4. So this whole thing should be equal to 5 is to 4. Right? 2 से कैंसिल आउट हो रहा है, पहले 2 से मैं कैंसिल आउट कर देता हूं. दिस कम्स आउट टू बी 178 और यहां ये कैंसिल आउट हो जा रहा है 2 से 2 पे. लेट्स क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई. 2 3 6, 2 6 12, 2 3 6 plus 1 7 plus 6x is equal to 5x plus 178 into 5. 178 into 5 is 890. From that I get x is equal to 890 minus 726. कितना आता है ये? It is 164. So from here I am getting x is equal to 164. Question says number of students who failed in E. Failed in E is 2x. So 2 into x is 328. Yes, option D is the right answer for question number 3. It was a calculative question and I am not able to find out any shorter way of doing this question. In my opinion, मेरे ख्याल से पूरा करना ही पड़ेगा. कोई छोटा तरीका मुझे नजर नहीं आया. ठीक है? That was question number 3 for all of you. The right answer is 328. I'll move ahead now to the next question. That is question number 4 from the same data set. Here is the question. Let's see how do you answer and how fast you answer. Question number 4 on your screen now from the same set. What is the answer for question number 4? Let me see the correct answer from any one of you. Mohit Garg is saying E, which is 20%. I accept that it's a difficult question, so it might be taking some time. Very good, Mohit, for answering. Varsha Ranjan has got the answer as D. Very good, Varsha. Sakshi has got the answer as D. So let's do it now. Karna shuru karte. So now the total number of students who have failed in all 5 schools is 664. So number of failed students is 664. I'm writing 664 total. And the total number of students who have passed with third division is what percentage of total number of students who have appeared in the exam. So I have to add all the numbers. I think we calculated this initially. If you guys can help me, how much was this? Yeah, मैं दोबारा कर ही लूं. It was 279 and 377, and I think it was 353 or 23, 323, and this was 353, and this was 372. 157, then 269 plus 83 is 352, and lastly it is 251 and 300. जरा देख लीजिएगा एक बार, यही है ना सारे नंबर्स? 377, 323 तो मेरे ख्याल से सही है. This is 122 plus 164, it is 286. 286 plus 77, it is equal to 363. Right? I think this is 363. I hope all of them are correct now. 363 के अलावा बाकी सारी चीजें ठीक होंगी. Now, so now if I add all of them, how much am I getting? Of course, I have to add the failed ones as well. So 7 plus 3, 10 plus 3, 13 plus 2, 15 plus 6, 21 plus 4, 25, 2 carry over. 2 plus 7, 9 plus 2, 11, 6, 17, 22, 27, 27 plus 6, 33, 3 carry over. And then I have 3, 6 are 18 plus 6, 24. So I think 2435 is the total number of students. Did you all get this? 2435 including the number of people who failed, it is equal to 2435. So the total number of people who appeared, I can say, is 2435. Question is asking out of those what is the percentage of people who passed with third division. तो मुझे अब इन सबको ऐड करना है. Let's add all of them now. So this is 100, 100, 200, 300, 400. 400 में से ये 7 कम है और ये 17 ज्यादा है. So ultimately 10 ज्यादा है. तो 410, 410 plus 77, 487. Is that right? एक बार चेक कर लीजिएगा. I think this is 487. So 487 is the number of people who got third division and 2435 is the total number of people. What percentage is that? 2435 का 10% होता है 243. So 20% होगा 486. So if 20% is 486, then 487 is very close to 486. It will be like 20.1%, something like that. So of course, my answer is going to be option E. So E 20% is the right answer according to me. Yes, E is the right answer. That's the correct answer for question number 4. Okay. So 20% is the final answer for this last question. I'm sure all of you have understood this first set. I'm moving on now to the second set. It is there on your screen now. So please read it. After that, we'll move ahead. पढ़ लीजिए एक बार. Can we expect such calculative sum in NMAT? Dishant, yes, very much possible. NMAT does ask you sometimes some lengthy questions as well. They do ask you. So all of you please work on this data for 2 minutes. After that, we shall start working on this. Just figure out whatever you can in this data. Then we will move ahead. I'm sure all of you have seen this now. Done? Yes, Anaga, 247 is definitely a good score. Chaliye. So based on the given information, solve the following set of questions. Two companies, Fusion Private Limited and Zixers Private Limited, were established in 11 and 17. There is an interesting fact that about the employees of each of these two companies, for both the companies, 20% of the employees who join in a year will leave the company after exactly 2 years, while the remaining will stay with the company for at least 12 years. It is also known that 15 employees of Fusion Private Limited left the company in 2017. The following graph shows you the number of employees working in the company at the end of each year. Now, first of all, let's talk about Zixers Private Limited. They just started operations from 2017. He says whatever number of people join in a particular year, 20% of them leave exactly after 2 years, the rest keep on working. So in 2017, 85 people joined them. And in 2018, there were 175 people working. So can I say in 1 year, no one would have left. Straight away, I can say 90 people would have joined in 2018, right guys? I hope this is clear. ठीक है 80 हमारे 85 हमारे पास पहले नंबर ऑफ एम्प्लॉइज थे नाउ दे आर 175 सो 85 से 175 हो जाने का क्या मतलब है 85 to 175 means the number of employees have increased by 90 no one has left but in 2019 20% of these will leave 20% of 85 is 17 of them would leave लेकिन एक चीज ध्यान दीजिए the number of employees have increased by 60 175 to 235 so even after 17 people left I still have an increase of 60 that means actually 77 people would have joined by 77 people joined 17 left only then I can see an increase of 60 in the workforce. Similarly, out of these 90 people, 20% that is 18 would leave over here. And if 18 people would leave over here, but still I see there is an increase of 50 in the workforce. That means 68 people must have joined the workforce here. ये बताइए क्या ये वाली सारी चीजें समझ में आ गई आप सब लोगों को? Is this clear to all? Right? We will talk about the official mock scores as well. But is this clear? 85 people joined, 20% of them left in 2019 and that was 17 people left. How many people joined in 2018? We just got to know it by 175 minus 85 which is 90. 20% of those 90 people would leave in 2020. And when I see a workforce increase of 50 after leaving 18 people, that means 68 would have new joinees. 18 छोड़ गए तो इसका मतलब 50 का ही increase दिखा. That ways we have got these values. Similarly, can I calculate that for the other company as well, Fusion Private Limited? The problem is, I can't say that 30 people have joined here. The workforce has increased by 30, but how many of them have left from the previous years? ये तो हम लोगों को पता ही नहीं है. So how can I work here? Use this. 15 employees of Fusion Private Limited left the company in 2017. 2017 में 15 people left. But I am looking at an increase of 50 here. That means 65 people would have joined. 15 people left, 65 would have joined. Out of these 65, 20% are going to leave after 2 years. That means 13 are going to leave over here. But I see an increase of 60 in the workforce. That means 73 people would have joined. 73 आए, 30 चले गए, तभी तो हमारे पास जो है यहाँ पे टोटल वर्कफोर्स में 60 का इंक्रीज आ रहा है. So using this data now, I have to answer the questions. I got to know now how many people left from a particular company in a particular year and how many of them were new joinees as well. So I've written this data already on the upcoming slides as well. If you have understood, we can start doing the questions straight away. Let's start with the first question. So I've written these values here. First question. What is the total number of employees of Zixer Private Limited who left the company by the end of 2020? By the end का मतलब ये 2020 तक जितने भी लीव किए, sum of all of them. So from Zixers, 17 people left here, 18 people left here, so a total of 35 people left by the end of 2020. My answer for this question is option B, that is equal to 35. I hope all of you got this. 35 is the right answer for question number 5. Okay. So yes, 35 is the correct answer. आगे बढ़ता हूं मैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 की तरफ. How many employees joined Zixers Private Limited in 2019? 19 में लोगों ने ज्वाइन कितना किया Zixer? It was joined by 77 people. So my answer is option A this time. Once the data is there, after that questions becomes very easy. Next. How many employees joined Fusion Private Limited in 2019? Fusion join करने वाले 2019 में कितने थे? There were 73 people. So my answer for this question is option E, that is 73. 73 people joined in this year. And lastly, what is the total number of employees of Fusion Private Limited who left the company by 2020? Fusion say I know that 15 people left in 2017, 13 left in 2019, but how many left in 18? How many left in 2020? I do not know that. So by the end of 2020, how many people have left from Fusion cannot be determined. So my answer for this last question should be option E, that is cannot be determined. These are the 4 answers for this question. This was slightly an easier set, I would say. पिछला जो सेट हमने किया उसके क्वेश्चंस में कैलकुलेशन थी, इनिशियल कुछ नहीं था. अब की बार इनिशियल कुछ भी नहीं था, लेकिन यहां सॉरी इनिशियल ही ज्यादा था. Once we get to know how many people left, how many people joined, question were able to answer very fast after that. So that way we got all of these answers. I'm sure you have all understood this second set as well. I'll move ahead now to the third set. Please read the data. After that we will move ahead. एक बार पढ़ लीजिए, फिर आगे बढ़ेंगे हम लोग. Please say done whenever you feel that you have understood the data. Okay, so everyone is saying done. That's great. So what does the data say here? क्या कह रहा है ये? The line graph given below shows the percentage of adult males and adult females working as permanent employees out of the total laborers working in the firm. The rest of the workers are contractual laborers. So adult males and adult females, their percentage is given. Contractual की percentage of course बाकी हो जाएगी, but उसमें male female का भी नहीं पता है. So let's straight away start the questions here. ठीक है? Here is the first question for all of you. Give me the answer first. After that, we'll be doing it together. पहले आप लोग मुझे आंसर दीजिए. I think इसका एक ऑप्शन गायब है. और आप आंसर दीजिए जो भी आता है. मेरे ख्याल से कुछ गड़बड़ है इसमें. कोई बात नहीं. What is your answer? Please let me know. Any answer from anyone? Okay, Anaga have once again answered as E. Very good. This doesn't look a very difficult question. I'm sure all of you can do it fast enough. Chaliye, let's start doing it now. What does it say? If the ratio of the number of permanent adult female laborers and male contractual laborers is 4:1 in 2020, then the number of permanent adult male laborers in 2020 is what percentage more than number of female contract laborers? Fortunately, we have space to do it now. See, there are males and females, permanent and contractual. He's talking about 2020 now. Okay. What has happened in 2020? The males are 40%, females are 32%. So if the males are 40%, females are 32%, and they are permanent, he says adult female laborers and male contractual laborers is 4:1. Adult female is 32. So male contractual would be 1/4 of that, that is 8. So 40 plus 32 is 72, 72 plus 8 is 80. So the remaining 20 are here. These are contractual female laborers. Now, what is the question asking you? Number of permanent adult male laborers, that is 40%, is what percentage more than number of female contract laborers, they are 20%. 40% 20% से कितना percent ज़्यादा है? So it is 100% more. So therefore my answer is 100% for this first question. Answer is option E. Anaga had given the right answer. But why didn't the other people answer? It was an easy question in my opinion. नहीं? चार ही तरह के लोग हैं, ये कॉन्ट्रेक्चुअल वो कॉन्ट्रेक्चुअल, या फिर ये परमानेंट वो परमानेंट. परमानेंट्स आर ऑलरेडी गिवन टू अस टू फिगर्स. एक रेशियो देके थर्ड फिगर भी दे दी, 100 में से माइनस किया, फोर्थ फिगर आ गई, एंड देन वी कुड इजीली कैलकुलेट द आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन. ओके, that was question number 9. I'll move ahead now to question number 10 on your screen is here. Let me see how many of you answer this now. And only Anaga answered in the last question. That should not happen though. Can anyone answer before Anaga this time? Anyone, any answer for question number 10? चलिए जी, नो आंसर दिस टाइम, दैट्स स्ट्रेंज. चलिए करते हैं, लेट्स डू दिस क्वेश्चन. If the ratio of the number of permanent adult male laborers who worked in 2019 to those who worked in 2020 is 3 is to 2, and the total number of laborers who worked in these 2 years is 4400, find the total number of contracted laborers who worked in these 2 years. Let's have a look at this. Ratio of the number of permanent adult male laborers who worked in 19. Who worked in 19 is 60% of the total. So let us say total number of people here is X. So 60% of X. Their ratio with those who worked in 2020. Those who worked in 2020 is 40%. So let us say the total number of people there is Y. So 40% of Y and 60% of X, they are in a ratio of 3 is to 2. Is that right, guys? These are in a ratio of 3 is to 2. Am I doing anything wrong here? Why am I not getting any answers from anyone? This generally do not happen. You guys have been answering for a long time now. But somehow only Soumya gave the answer. अच्छा, सौम्या कह रही है कुछ गलती की है मैंने. अच्छा, 19 में था वो, 50% आना था. Sorry. Thank you, सौम्या. 50% of X is to 40% of Y is equal to 3 is to 2, or I can say 50 times of X divided by 40 times of Y is equal to 3 by 2. So 2 2s are 4. I get X by Y is equal to 6 by 5. X by Y is equal to 6 by 5. That means the strength of 19 and strength of 20, they are in a ratio of 6 is to 5. And he says total strength is 4400. So if 4400 is divided in a ratio of 6 is to 5, 11 हो गया 6 plus 5, 11 का 400 times है. So I can say strength of 2019 is 400 times of 6, that is 2400, and strength of 2020 is 2000. Question पूछ कह रहा है आपसे, find the total number of contracted laborers who worked in these 2 years. अब contracted labor देखो कितने हैं इसमें. 2019 में 80% of the laborers are permanent. So 20% are contracted. 2400 का 20% is 480. 2020 में 2000 का 72% are permanent. So 28%, that is 560, are contractual. Add करो 1040 आता है. That gives me the answer as option D. So yes, D is the right answer. But why no one answered this question? Right? Why did you not answer this? I mean, this was a question that was worth doing by everyone, should have been done, but somehow lengthy है, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं था कि doable ही नहीं है, किसी ने आंसर ही नहीं दिया. Right? Let's see what happens in the next question. Now, please do answer. We are on the last two questions of the day now. Question number 11 on your screen is here. Please answer this question now. And I need at least 10 answers for this question so that then we start discussing it. At least 10 answers. Tell me what is the answer for this. No answers again. Is it that difficult once again? Anaga once again has come to the rescue. She has answered C. Shalini has also answered as B. That's great. We have got two answers at least. Pragya has got B. Let's start doing it then. देखते हैं क्या आंसर आता है. If the ratio of the total number of laborers who worked in 17, 18 and 19 is 5, 3, 4. So 5, 3, sorry, मैं हमेशा बुढ़ापा आ गया मेरा. 5, 3 and 4. And if the number of permanent adult male workers who worked in these 3 years is 6,200. So let us say there are 500, 300 and 400. So what is the number of adult male laborers? It is 48% of 500. 48% of 500 is 240 plus 60% of 300. 60% of 300 is 180 plus 50% of 400, that is equal to 200. This comes out to be 18 plus 24, which is equal to 42 plus 20. It is 620. But the question says they are 6,200. So I just need to multiply them by 10. They are 5,000, they are 3,000, they are 4,000. बात बन गई. Find the total number of contract laborers who worked in these 3 years. यहाँ 48 plus 32 है 80. So the remaining 20% are contract laborers. 60 plus 30 is 90. Remaining 10% are contract laborers. 50 plus 30 is 80. Remaining 20% are contract laborers. How many contract laborers are there? 20% of 5,000 is 1,000 plus यहाँ पे 3,000 का 10%, 3,000 का 10% is 300 plus यहाँ पे 4,000 का 20% is 800. So 1,000, 300, 800 is 2,100. So C option is the right answer for this question. Yes. So इसका मतलब मैंने सही किया है. 2,100 is the correct answer. So Anaga got it correct. Suchdeep got it correct later on. Soumya got it correct. Shalini and Pragya, I'm sure you must have got your mistake. कोई छोटी silly mistake हुई होगी जिसकी वजह से हुआ है. Otherwise, it was not a difficult question in my opinion. And that brings us to the last question of the day. Question number 12 on your screen once again is here. I took the ratio of contract laborers, subtracted that by the total ratio, and then got the answer. So, not right. I mean, by chance, probably you could have got it right, but that's not the right approach. Yes, any answer for this last question, question number 12? So let's do this last question as well now. चलिए करते हैं. It says a search team inspected firm X in 2016 and imposed a fine of rupees 300 for each contract laborer who worked for the firm. The inspection team imposed a fine of 21,000 on the firm. 300 per person, 21,000 they collected. What does that mean? Can I say they charge 70 rupees per person? Right? 70 rupees per person they must have charged. Only then it would have become 21,000. Oh, I'm sorry. There must have been 70 people. Right? The total number of people must be 70. So that 70 into 300, the total fine becomes 21,000. So in 2016, you can say 70 laborers were contract laborers and they are 20% of the total, right? If 20% of the total is 70, what is the total? Can I say the total is 350, right? Total is 350. Next, if the number of contracted workers working in 17 was 40 more than this, 17 में contract laborers कह रहा है 40 ज्यादा है, 110 हो गए. और यहां पर भी वो 80% है because 48 plus 32, right, that is equal to 80, तो 20% है. So if 20% of the total is 110, that means total must be 550 there. Then find the total number of permanent adult male laborers who worked in 16 and 17. यहां आएगा 350 का 56% और नेक्स्ट आएगा 550 का 48%. I'll add them, I'll get my answer. जरा देखते हैं दोनों में क्या आंसर आता है मेरे पास. सो 350 प्लस, देखिए मैं तो ऐसे करता हूं, 350 प्लस 550 हो जाएगा 900. तो 900 का 48% निकाल लेते हैं, आसान होगा ना करना. 9 8 72 एंड 9 4 36 प्लस 7 43. बचा इसका एक्स्ट्रा 8%. सो 350 का 8% में अलग से निकाल लेता हूं. 8 3 24 प्लस 4 28. So 432 plus 28, that is 460, becomes the right answer for us, and that is the last answer for this question, 460. 350 का भी मैंने 48% ले लिया पहले. 48% ऑफ 350, 48% ऑफ 550, तो 48% ऑफ 900 हो गया, आराम से निकल गया. बचा 8% और 350 का. 8 into 35 28 होता है, वो आराम से निकला है उधर से भी. So by adding them, we got 460. That was the last answer of the day, which is 460. I'm sure you have understood this, and I was wrong in saying this is the last session. Tomorrow we have the last session at 7 p.m. with Vikrant sir, who would be talking about verbal reasoning. So do join him tomorrow at 7 p.m. for this last session of the crash course, and do not forget to join us for this other management entrance test program as well, which we have recently started. You can enroll for this now, where you'll be getting 100 plus live sessions, 250 plus recorded videos, 10,000 plus topic wise practice questions, and 50 plus mock tests. So this is purely for the non-CAT examinations. The classes have started recently. I think tomorrow we have the first class for this. Okay. So that's about this. So I think do not forget to join us for this analysis as well. First impression and detailed analysis by Gautam Bawa sir on 20th of October. Do join him for this session where he'll be talking about that what can you expect from the exam, what can be the cutoff, what kind of questions are coming up. Everything he would be discussing on that day. You can find us on all of these media handles as well. That's all from my side, guys. Thank you very much. We'll meet in the next class now. Till then, bye-bye. And please take care of yourself. Have a good day.